Look at this. This isn't just a city. This is a human ocean. 42 million people. That is the entire population of Spain or Canada, all squeezed into a single urban area. For 70 years, if you asked anyone, what is the biggest city on Earth? The answer was easy. It was Tokyo. It was the undisputed king of the megacities. It was the future. But in November 2025, the United Nations released a report that shattered that reality. The king has fallen. And it's not just Tokyo. The cities you think are the biggest, New York, Mexico City, Sao Paulo, they aren't even in the top 10 anymore. The map of the world has been completely rewritten overnight. Who beat them? And how does a city of 42 million people even function without collapsing? We are about to find out. Before we reveal the list, here is the twist. You have to understand why the map changed. For decades, we counted cities by political lines, like drawing a neat little box around downtown. It was messy. It was like counting a family but forgetting everyone currently standing in the kitchen. The new 2025 UN report changed the math. They now use satellites to count the entire contiguous human footprint. Basically, if the concrete connects, it counts. They don't care about state lines, borders, or mayor jurisdictions. They only care about the physical reality of the sprawl. This single change wiped the Americas off the map. No New York, no Mexico City. The new top 10 is the era of the Asian supercity. Coming in at number 10 with nearly 26 million people is the Seoul capital area, South Korea. Now usually people put Seoul at around 10 million, but under the new satellite rules, we have to count the Sudog-1, the massive continuous urban zone that includes Incheon and Gyeonggi province. That is the only way it beats out the giants of South America like Sao Paulo. Seoul is fascinating because it is a city of extreme contradictions. On one side, it is a real-life video game city. It is incredibly high-tech, hyper-modern, and everything runs on blistering fast internet. You can order groceries on a subway wall interface and have them delivered before you get home. Nearly half of everyone in South Korea lives in this one metropolitan area. Imagine if half the US population lived inside the beltway of Washington, D.C. That is the level of concentration we are talking about. But Seoul has a dark side. It is caught in a demographic death spiral. It is not growing. South Korea has the lowest birth rate in the world. The pressure to succeed here is so high that young people are simply opting out of having families. Seoul is massive, wealthy, and futuristic, but it is slowly beginning to shrink. It is a glimpse into a future where cities might be perfect, but empty. At number 9, dipping slightly below Seoul's regional count but rising fast with 22.5 million people, we head to India. This is Kolkata. If Seoul is the high-tech future, Kolkata is the heavy weight of history. It used to be the capital under the British Empire known as the City of Palaces. And it still has these grand, crumbling old colonial buildings. But today, it is an intense engine of humanity. The new satellite counting method helped Kolkata nudge into the top 10 because it captured the massive sprawl of suburbs exploding outwards from the old city center along the Hooghly River. Kolkata is a sensory overload. It is one of the few places left where you still see hand-pulled rickshaws sharing the road with modern SUVs. It is vibrant, chaotic, and unlike Seoul, it is still growing fast. It struggles with poverty, yes, but it is also the intellectual capital of India, a place where art and literature thrive amidst the incredible density. It is a city that refuses to be quiet. We are jumping ahead to number 8. With 24.7 million people, this was one of the biggest surprises of the 2025 report. Manila, the capital of the Philippines. Manila used to be ranked much lower. But remember the satellite rule? If the concrete connects, it counts. When the UN looked down, they realized Manila wasn't just one city. It had swallowed up 16 surrounding cities, places like Quezon City, Makati, and Taguig, into one gigantic blob called Metro Manila. And here is the craziest stat. It is, by many measurements, the densest city on Earth. If you stood everyone in the world shoulder to shoulder, they would fit inside the city limits of Los Angeles. In Manila, it feels like they already tried that. The traffic here is legendary. They call it Carmageddon. It can take 3 hours to travel 10 kilometers, but despite the gridlock, the city is booming. It is the call center capital of the world, driving a massive economy that is lifting millions into the middle class, all packed into a space that physically shouldn't be able to hold them. Wait, we skipped number 7. Why? Because it's special. At number 7, with nearly 26 million people, is Cairo, Egypt. It is the only city in the top 10 that is not in Asia. It is the champion of Africa. Cairo is intense. It is an ancient city trying to cope with a modern population explosion. This is a city where you can see the Great Pyramids from a KFC window. It is loud, dusty, and bursting at the seams. The density is so high that people have built apartments on top of cemeteries. The situation is so critical that the government decided they couldn't fix it. So they are doing something radical. They are building a whole new capital city, literally called the new administrative capital, 45 kilometers out in the desert. They are trying to move the government, the embassies, and millions of people out of Cairo just to let the old city breathe. It is one of the biggest engineering projects on the planet, all driven by the sheer pressure of 26 million people. Quick pause here. We are only halfway through and the numbers are getting scary high. We are talking about cities larger than entire nations. If you are amazed by how fast our world is changing, hit that like button to help us keep building this channel. It really helps us out. Okay, let's get to the heavyweights. Now we look at the giants of China. At number 6 is Guangzhou. You might not have heard of it. It doesn't have the fame of Beijing or Shanghai, but with 27.6 million people, Guangzhou is arguably the most important city for your daily life. It is the factory of the world. If you own a smartphone, a laptop, or a pair of sneakers, there is a very good chance parts of them came through the ports of Guangzhou. The new UN method loves Guangzhou because it is part of something called the Pearl River Delta. This isn't just a city, it is a cluster of giant manufacturing hubs, Shenzhen, Dongguan, Foshan, that all grew so fast they crashed into each other. The satellite just sees one endless roof of factories, warehouses, and apartments. It is a seamless urban machine dedicated to making things and shipping them to you. Just ahead of it at number 5, with almost 30 million people, is Shanghai. Shanghai is the showstopper. It is China's financial capital, its answer to New York and London combined. The transformation here is impossible to overstate. 30 years ago, the area known as Pudong, across the river from the old city, was farmland and mudflats. Today, it has some of the tallest skyscrapers on Earth, including the twisted Shanghai Tower. It represents pure economic velocity. Shanghai runs the world's fastest commercial train, the maglev, which floats on magnets and hits speeds of 430 kilometers per hour. Everything here is about speed, height, and money. While the West stabilized, Shanghai accelerated. It is the shiny, futuristic face of the new Asian century. Moving to number 4, we are back in India, New Delhi, 30.2 million people. For a long time, people thought Delhi would eventually become number 1. It is growing incredibly fast. Delhi is a city of extremes. It has wide, leafy boulevards for government buildings, legacy of the British architects who designed New Delhi to be impressive and orderly. But surround that and you have miles of incredibly dense, unplanned neighborhoods that sprang up out of nowhere to house the millions pouring in from the countryside. Delhi is facing an existential battle with its environment. In the winter, the smog can get so bad that breathing the air is equivalent to smoking 2 packs of cigarettes a day, and yet the city functions. It built one of the best metro systems in the world in record time. It is a city constantly fighting for survival, balancing massive growth against a collapsing environment. And now we reach the fallen king. At number 3, Tokyo, Japan, 33.4 million people. For decades, Tokyo was the benchmark. It was the biggest, the most complex, the ultimate human machine. And honestly, it is still the best designed city on the list. The train system moves millions of people with seconds-level precision. The streets are clean. The crime rate is virtually zero. But Tokyo lost the top spot for a simple, sad reason. It is shrinking. Japan has the oldest population on Earth. They are selling more diapers for adults than for babies. In the countryside, houses are being given away for free because there is no one left to live in them. That emptiness is slowly creeping into Tokyo. The population curve has crested the hill and is starting the long slide down. It is a magnificent, futuristic city that is slowly, quietly fading away. It is the first megacity in history to die of old age. So, who beat Tokyo? Who took the crown? At number 2, with a staggering count of over 36 million people across its wider delta region, is Dhaka, the capital of Bangladesh. If Tokyo is organized precision, Dhaka is pure, unfiltered human energy. It is one of the fastest growing major cities on the planet. Why is it growing so fast? Part of it is economic. The textile industry is booming, but a huge part is climate change. Bangladesh is a river delta nation, and as sea levels rise and salt water ruins farmland, millions of people are fleeing the coast. They all end up in Dhaka. The city is growing outwards and upwards simultaneously. It is trying to build infrastructure while millions of people are already standing on the construction site. Traffic is chaotic, sewage is a challenge, and housing is scarce. But the resilience of the people here is legendary. Dhaka is a city running a sprint marathon, racing to build a modern metropolis before the sheer weight of its population crushes it. Which brings us to the new champion, the number 1 most populous urban agglomeration on Earth, Jakarta, Indonesia, 41.9 million people. How did Jakarta jump so high? How did it beat Tokyo and Dhaka? This is the ultimate victory of the satellite method. The UN finally stopped counting just the city center of Jakarta, which has about 10 million people, and officially recognized the full beast. They call it Jabodetabek. That is an acronym for Jakarta, Bogor, Depok, Tangerang, and Bekasi. These used to be separate cities, but the sprawl has merged them into one massive urban monster. It is a megacity region of 42 million souls. That is a scale that is hard to comprehend, but Jakarta's crown is heavy. It is perhaps the most fragile number 1 in history. Why? Because Jakarta is sinking. This is not a metaphor. The city is literally sinking into the Java Sea. Some parts of North Jakarta are sinking up to 25 centimeters a year. That is almost a foot every single year. Why? Because the city doesn't have enough piped water, so 40 million people are digging wells and pumping out groundwater. The ground is deflating like a punctured balloon. At the same time, sea levels are rising due to climate change. Jakarta is getting hit from above and below. The situation is so dire that the Indonesian government is doing something even more drastic than Egypt. They are abandoning ship. They are building a brand new capital city called Nusantara on the island of Borneo, 1,000 kilometers away. They are moving the politics, but the people, the 40 million people, are staying behind in Jakarta. They are building a giant sea wall in the shape of a mythical bird to try and hold back the ocean. It is the biggest city on earth, and it is literally fighting for its life against the water. From the shrinking giant of Tokyo to the sinking colossus of Jakarta. The 2025 report didn't just give us a new list of numbers, it gave us a snapshot of humanity at a crossroads. We are becoming an urban species. We are packing ourselves into denser and denser spaces, facing challenges our ancestors couldn't have dreamed of. We are building cities that are running out of water, cities that are drowning, and cities that are running out of children. The map has changed. The Asian century is here, and the era of the 40 million person city has begun. What do you think is the biggest challenge these new megacities face? Is it the water in Jakarta, the smog in Delhi, or the aging in Tokyo? Let me know down in the comments. Seven continents, 7 giants. Think you know the biggest city on your continent? Let's test that. From McMurdo's few hundred to Tokyo's tens of millions, this countdown climbs from quiet outposts to roaring megacities. See where people cluster, why they grow, and which city rules each continent. Ready for the ride? Stick around to the very end. These are the most populated cities on every continent. From the very bottom of the world, we begin with Antarctica. There are no real cities here, only research stations clinging to the ice. The largest is McMurdo Station, a cluster of low buildings on the edge of Ross Island. In summer, roughly 1,000 people work, eat, and sleep there. In the long polar night, that number falls to only a couple hundred. No shopping streets, no freeways, just wind, snow, and the steady hum of generators. McMurdo is a reminder that humans can live almost anywhere, but not in huge crowds everywhere. Quick note on how we're counting. When we say city, we mean the greater metro or urban agglomeration. The city plus the suburbs and commuter belt that function as one. It's the way most people live a big city life. You might sleep in one district, work in another, and spend weekends across the ring road. City limit lines can be old and quirky, but metros tell the real story of scale. Now we jump to Oceania, where the title for largest metropolitan area is a photo finish between two Australian heavyweights. By one boundary, Melbourne briefly edged ahead, but by the official metro definition used nationwide, Sydney currently wears the crown with about 5.5 million people. Think of a sparkling harbor stitched to the city's daily life, ferries cutting across coves, beaches folded into neighborhoods, suburban lines fanning out like spokes. Sydney's scale isn't about forests of super tall towers, it is the spread, families, commuters, and communities woven across ridges and shoreline. It is a big city that somehow still wears flip-flops. Zoom into the details and you see a polycentric giant. Parramatta rising as a second downtown, the spine of suburban rail pulling workers from leafy stations to office cores. Western Sydney is booming with new homes, new jobs, and a new airport on the horizon to match the city's growth curve. Sydney's size is less a vertical statement than a wide, lived-in canvas where the harbour and the hills decide the shape of commutes and neighbourhoods. Next stop is Europe, and it surprises many people. You might guess London or Paris, but the continent's largest metropolitan area is Moscow. Depending on how you draw the boundary lines, Moscow collects around 20 to 21.5 million people. Centuries of history tower over ultra-modern business districts. Grand boulevards open into vast residential zones. A famously intricate metro system threads beneath it all, moving millions every day. Moscow's size is felt not just in landmarks but in the endless everyday motion. Morning trains, market stalls, office towers, and apartment blocks stretching far past the city center. There's an order to the sprawl. The MCAD ring road wraps the city like a belt, while rail lines radiate outward, knitting suburb to center. Down below, stations gleam like palaces, mosaics, chandeliers, high arches, reminding riders that mass movement can still feel monumental. Winters are cold, but the machine keeps running. Insulated pipes, underground shopping passages, and a transit network that shrugs off snow and keeps a megacity on time. We fly across the Atlantic and drop into South America's heavyweight, São Paulo, Brazil. If you have never seen an ocean made of buildings, this is it. Greater São Paulo gathers roughly 23 million people in an urban fabric that both rises and sprawls. The skyline does not just go up, it rolls outward, a carpet of concrete and glass. Life here moves at speed, traffic can be thick, schedules can be packed, and opportunity is everywhere. Yet between the high rises, you find pockets of calm, neighborhood bakeries at dawn, leafy squares at midday, and football pitches glowing under floodlights at night. São Paulo is industry and art, hustle and heart all at once. Walk a little and the city changes accents. Liberdad's lanterns and izakayas recall Japanese roots. Paulista Avenue flips from finance by day to culture by night. Warehouse districts morph into galleries and music venues. New metro lines and bus corridors thread the mass together, shaving minutes off commutes in a place where minutes matter. The scale is intimidating until you realize it's also incredibly human, a million routines that somehow fit together. If you are enjoying the video, kindly like and subscribe. Now to Africa, where people have followed the Nile for thousands of years. Cairo remains the continent's most populous metropolitan area, with a little over 23 million residents. The Giza pyramids stand at the edge of an urban sea, ancient stones facing a modern tide of buses, billboards, satellite dishes, and a riverfront where the city exhales at dusk. Cairo is crowded, loud, and constantly in motion, but it is also intimate. Courtyards where neighbors share tea, narrow old streets where history whispers, and long river views that steady the pace. As Africa grows, many cities are rising fast. For now, Cairo still holds the crown. Cairo's geography is destiny. The river is the lifeline, the bridges are the bottlenecks, and the ring roads trace the edge where desert meets development. Markets tumble into the streets, microbuses dart between lanes, and the metro dives under traffic to keep the city breathing. It's a lesson in how megacities survive, by layering solutions, old and new, over the same stubborn constraints of space, time, and water. North America's giant may surprise you. It is not New York, it is Mexico City. Built on the foundations of the Mexican capital, this metropolis now counts roughly 25 million people across its vast urban area, denser, broader, and yes, bigger than New York by population. Mexico City is a stack of eras: ancient canals, colonial plazas, modern museums, and contemporary skylines layered together. There are challenges, air quality, traffic, earthquakes, but resilience runs deep. From mariachi and Garibaldi to markets spilling color onto every block, the city's pulse is unmistakable, a steady beat that binds old traditions to new ambitions. Look close and you spot the secrets of its scale. The basin encircles the city like a bowl, focusing growth inward and outward along the valley's ridges. Metro lines, some shallow, some deep, carry millions daily, while bus rapid transit carves express paths through dense corridors. On the edges, new suburbs spring up. In the core, historic streets get a fresh coat without losing their bones. The recipe is density plus ingenuity, refined over centuries of reinvention. And then, the boss level, Asia. Tokyo is not just the largest city in Asia, it is the largest in the world. Depending on where you place the boundary lines, the greater Tokyo area gathers around 37 million people, more souls than many countries. Yet it works with astonishing grace. Trains slide in on the second, crowds flow like water, and a tiny ramen shop can become a city-wide legend. Neon spills over quiet alleyways. Skyscrapers sit beside pocket parks no bigger than a living room. The magic of Tokyo is balance, precision and warmth, speed and courtesy, everything scaled up yet somehow still personal. Tokyo is a woven ring of centers. The Yamanote line loops like a necklace, linking Shinjuku's mountain of towers, Shibuya's scramble of screens, and Ikebukuro's retail maze. Stations are cities of their own. Groceries, clinics, bookstores, and bento spots stacked upstairs and underground. You can step off a rush hour train into a side street so quiet you hear your footsteps. That's the paradox that keeps Tokyo moving. Giant systems built to deliver small, everyday moments with almost absurd reliability. Let us rewind the ascent in one breath, because the story is in the scale. We began with Antarctica's McMurdo Station. Hundreds to about 1,000 people, a scientific foothold on the edge of the possible. We stepped into Sydney, around 5.5 million, a harbor city whose lifestyle is nearly as famous as its skyline. We surged to Moscow, roughly 20 to 21.5 million, a continental capital where deep history meets modern muscle. We pushed into Sao Paulo, about 23 million, a megacity that stretches farther than the eye can see. We flowed through Cairo, just over 23 million, ancient and urgent. We crossed into Mexico City, roughly 25 million, a layered metropolis built on legend and lakebed. And we finished in Tokyo, an urban universe of around 37 million, moving with precision at colossal scale. What do these places tell us about ourselves? People gather where connection creates opportunity. Harbors, rivers, and crossroads became engines. Culture, jobs, and ideas did the rest. These giants are not just big, they are blueprints for how we live, move, trade, learn, and solve problems together. As Africa and Asia surge, new players will climb the ranks, and the tools we build, faster trains, smarter grids, greener streets, will decide how well these places work for everyone. Look at this skyline. This is not just a collection of buildings. This is a $3 trillion machine. Right now, 10 massive cities control more money than entire continents. This year, the global economy is no longer about countries. It is about the power of metropolitan areas. One of these cities has more billionaires than almost any other place on the planet. From the tech labs of Silicon Valley to the historic banks of London, we are counting down the richest metropolitan areas on Earth. And the number one spot, it is wealthier than you can possibly imagine. Let us dive into the global hierarchy of wealth. Our countdown begins in the American Midwest with a city that has just made a massive comeback. At number 10, we have Chicago. For the last few years, many analysts thought Chicago was in a permanent decline, but the 2025 Henley & Partners report reveals a different story. Chicago has officially leapfrogged over major Asian giants like Beijing and Shanghai to reclaim its spot in the global top 10. Today, the city is home to 127,100 millionaires and 25 billionaires. What makes Chicago so rich is not just one industry, but its incredible diversity. No single sector, from finance to manufacturing, accounts for more than 14% of its economy. This makes the city a bellwether for the entire American economy. With its massive logistics hub at O'Hare and a regional economy worth $920 billion, Chicago has proven that resilience is the ultimate form of wealth. It connects to 25% of the American population within just a day's drive, making it a logistics machine that never stops. Moving to number 9, we head to the Southern Hemisphere to visit Sydney. This city has become one of the primary beneficiaries of global millionaire migration. In 2025, Sydney is home to 152,900 millionaires and 22 billionaires. Australia's premier city is winning the global race for talent by offering what experts call a lifestyle dividend. It is not just about the high salaries. It is about the combination of safety, world-class infrastructure, and a robust investment climate that has seen its millionaire population grow by 28% over the last decade. Sydney has recently improved its scores in quality of life and environmental sustainability, making it a top destination for family offices and entrepreneurs looking to escape the volatility of other global markets. By blending economic freedom with high livability, Sydney has firmly established itself as the wealthy anchor of the Oceania region. At number 8, we find the skyscraper capital of the world, Hong Kong. For decades, Hong Kong was the undisputed gateway to Asia, and while it has faced significant political and economic shifts recently, it remains a titan of extreme wealth. It currently holds 154,900 millionaires and 40 resident billionaires. This city represents the absolute peak of real estate exclusivity. If you want to buy a prime apartment here, you should expect to pay over $26,000 for every single square meter. Hong Kong is currently reinventing itself by integrating into the Greater Bay Area, a massive contiguous megalopolis that includes Shenzhen and Guangzhou. By connecting its financial services to the manufacturing power of mainland China, Hong Kong is betting its massive wealth pool on a future as a multipolar economic node. Next, at number 7, we arrive in the services and luxury anchor of Europe, Paris. The City of Light has maintained its position as the wealthiest city in mainland Europe for over a decade. It is home to 160,100 millionaires and 22 billionaires. The wealth here is driven by the world's most powerful luxury conglomerates and a stable services economy. But Paris is not just resting on its history. The city is currently undergoing a structural transformation to become the world's most livable green capital. Projects like nature-centered schoolyards and the daylighting of ancient waterways are attracting a new generation of high-net-worth individuals who prioritize health and climate resilience. Paris remains a primary destination for mobile capital seeking a blend of cultural heritage and modern innovation. Taking the number 6 spot is London. This is a city that tells a story of both immense power and significant challenge. Over the last 10 years, London has seen its millionaire population decline by 12%, the largest drop of any city in the top 10. This decline is the result of Brexit, shifts in taxation, and the end of certain domicile rules. In fact, an estimated 16,500 millionaires are expected to leave the United Kingdom this year alone. However, despite this wealth exodus, London remains a perpetually relevant global hub. It is home to 215,700 millionaires and 33 billionaires. London leads the world in human capital, boasting more top-tier universities and international headquarters than almost anywhere else. Recent financial reforms have simplified how companies raise money, leading to a 34% increase in capital raised this year. If you are enjoying this deep dive into the world's most powerful cities, kindly like the video and subscribe to the channel. We are about to enter the top 5, where the numbers reach a scale that is hard to comprehend. At number 5, we have Los Angeles. The City of Angels has officially overtaken London in the wealth rankings this year. While most people associate LA with Hollywood, its wealth is actually driven by a multipolar economic base. It is home to 220,600 millionaires and 45 billionaires. Los Angeles is a massive gateway for trans-Pacific trade, and its ports handle a significant portion of all goods entering the United States. Beyond entertainment, the region is seeing an explosion in aerospace and biotech wealth. The city's wealth is spread across exclusive enclaves like Beverly Hills and Malibu, which host over 500 centimillionaires. With a metropolitan gross domestic product of $1.35 trillion, Los Angeles has proven that it is much more than just a film set. It is a diversified economic beast. Moving to number 4, we find the ultimate wealth magnet, Singapore. This city-state has become the preferred destination for the world's migrating millionaires. In the last year alone, 3,400 high-net-worth individuals moved their entire lives to Singapore. Today, the city boasts 242,400 millionaires and 30 billionaires. Singapore's ascent is the result of a deliberate pro-business governance model that includes no capital gains tax and extreme political stability. It is a world leader in high-tech manufacturing and biotechnology. For investors, Singapore offers a safe harbor in a world of geopolitical uncertainty. It has jumped to third place in global competitiveness rankings, reflecting its massive gains in digital infrastructure and its ability to attract capital from both the global north and the emerging global south. Taking the number 3 spot is the industrial epicenter of Asia, Tokyo. With 37 million people in its metropolitan area, Tokyo is the largest urban economy in the world by aggregate size. It is home to 292,300 millionaires and 18 billionaires. While it has fewer billionaires than some of its American rivals, Tokyo's wealth is characterized by extreme stability and high productivity. If Tokyo were a country, its economy would rank in the global top 10, ahead of nations like Canada or South Korea. The city is a world leader in urban design and has successfully adapted to an aging population by investing heavily in barrier-free infrastructure. It serves as the primary industrial anchor of the Pacific and continues to be a global leader in advanced manufacturing. At number 2, we find the epicenter of the modern technological revolution, the San Francisco Bay Area. This region, which includes Silicon Valley and San Jose, has become the world's most potent engine for wealth creation. In 2025, it has achieved a stunning milestone. It is now home to 82 billionaires, which is significantly more than New York City. The Bay Area has seen its millionaire population grow by a staggering 98% over the last decade, driven almost entirely by the boom in generative artificial intelligence and venture capital. San Jose specifically holds the record for the highest gross domestic product per person in the entire world. This is where the world's trillion-dollar tech giants are headquartered, and despite high living costs, the innovation engine here remains unrivaled. It is effectively the laboratory where the future of the global economy is being written. Finally, at number 1, we reach the sovereign hub of global finance, New York City. For nearly a decade, the Big Apple has remained the undisputed king of the world economy. The total liquid wealth held by its residents exceeds $3 trillion, a figure higher than the total wealth of most countries in the G20. New York is home to 384,500 millionaires and 66 billionaires. It is the preeminent global hub for finance, advertising, and digital media. From the trading floors of Wall Street to the massive tech offices in Manhattan, New York possesses a magnetic effect on global capital that no other city can match. Even with the rise of tech hubs and Asian giants, New York's density of investment firms and corporate headquarters ensures its place at the top of the global hierarchy.
Forget everything you think you know about global wealth. In 2025, these 5 nations are outpacing superpowers and shattering economic records. This countdown, based on worldatlas.com and data from the International Monetary Fund, reveals where fortunes and futures are being made right now. Number 5, Norway. GDP per capita, $107,892. Norway is proof that a small population and breathtaking landscapes can power extraordinary prosperity. Driven by state ownership in oil and natural gas, Norway channels its wealth back into public services, like healthcare, education, and world-class infrastructure. But this isn't a single industry story. Norway's economy is a balanced blend of agriculture, industry, and services, all working together to keep unemployment low and the standard of living high. Here, economic success truly benefits everyone. Number 4, Qatar. GDP per capita, $121,605. Qatar's transformation from desert outpost to global economic giant is legendary. Fueled by the world's third-largest natural gas reserves, this nation invests heavily in new industries, luxury developments, and cutting-edge infrastructure. The result? A country where citizens enjoy some of the world's highest incomes, while the government works to build sustainable wealth beyond oil and gas. Number 3, Ireland. GDP per capita, $134,000. Ireland's rise is built on more than luck. It's the outcome of smart policy, open markets, and an educated workforce. Once mostly agricultural, Ireland now attracts leading tech firms, pharmaceutical giants, and financial companies from all over the world. Strategic investments and low taxes have turned Irish cities into magnets for innovation, bringing prosperity and opportunity across the country. If you're enjoying the video, kindly like and subscribe for more insightful content. Number 2, Luxembourg. GDP per capita, $152,915. Luxembourg may be tiny, but its influence is huge. This country shifted from a steel powerhouse to one of the globe's most powerful financial centers. International banks, investment funds, and tech-savvy entrepreneurs flock here for political stability and a skilled, multicultural workforce. The result is a nation where global connections and local quality of life create unbeatable prosperity. Number prized you most.
Look at this. This is not a national park. This is not a nature reserve. This is an entire country. We live in a world of concrete and glass, but there are still places on Earth where the trees have won. Today, we are counting down the top 10 most forested nations on the planet, from a land where birds are poisonous to the touch, to a hidden kingdom where escaped slaves built a secret civilization. These are the last true wildernesses. Number 10, Finland. We start our journey in the frozen north. While the rest of our list is dominated by tropical heat, Finland stands alone as the icy guardian of the forest. 74% of this nation is covered in trees, mostly spruce, pine, and birch. But Finland is different for another reason. Here, the forest is not just scenery, it is a bank account. They call it green gold. Finland has mastered the art of cutting down trees and planting them back even faster. It is an industrial machine, yet it feels wild. This connection goes deeper than industry. It is medicinal. Scientists here have studied a concept that is becoming famous worldwide: forest bathing. They found that spending just 20 minutes in these boreal woods significantly lowers blood pressure and reduces stress hormones. In Finland, the silence of the forest isn't empty. It is a prescription. This is all accessible thanks to a beautiful ancient law called every man's right. In Finland, you do not need permission to walk in the woods, camp for the night, or pick as many berries as you can carry, even on private land. The forest belongs to everyone. It is a place where modern industry meets an ancient respect for nature, proving that humans and trees can actually get along. Number 9, Liberia. We fly south to West Africa, to a country that has seen hard times but holds a beautiful secret. Liberia covers about 78% of its land in lush rainforest. For years, civil war kept outsiders away, which accidentally saved these forests from being cut down. Today, places like Sapo National Park are some of the last strongholds of the Upper Guinean forest. But there is an even older force protecting these trees than modern laws. Liberia is home to powerful secret societies known as the Poro and the Sand. For centuries, they have designated certain areas as sacred groves, forbidden to outsiders and safe from the axe. It is a form of spiritual conservation that has kept the canopy intact for generations. Hidden inside this green wall is a creature that looks like a mythical beast, the pygmy hippo. It is half the height of a normal hippo, weighs a quarter as much, and spends its time sneaking through the forest shadows rather than swimming in big rivers. These forests are their final refuge, a rebounding reservoir of life in a region that desperately needs it. Number 8. Papua New Guinea. Welcome to the Wild West of botany. Papua New Guinea, sitting north of Australia, is 79% forest, but that number does not tell the whole story. This is one of the most rugged, unexplored places on Earth. The forests here are so dense and the mountains so steep that hundreds of different tribes have lived here for thousands of years, often just a few miles apart, without ever meeting each other. This terrain has preserved over 800 distinct languages, making it the most linguistically diverse place on the planet. This isolation has created an evolutionary wonderland. But tread carefully, because these forests are home to a creature that defies belief, the hooded pitohui. It is one of the only poisonous birds on Earth. Its skin and feathers carry a neurotoxin so potent that just touching it can numb your hands and burn your skin. It is a flying warning sign that in Papua New Guinea, nature fights back. And of course, this is the home of the birds of paradise, creatures with feathers so colorful and dances so bizarre, they look like they were designed by a cartoonist. For the local tribes, these forests are not just resources, they are a spiritual home, creating a bond between man and nature that the modern world has largely forgotten. Number 7. Equatorial Guinea. On the coast of Central Africa lies a tiny nation with a massive forest cover of 86%. But the reason these trees are still standing is a bit of a paradox. It is because of oil. When Equatorial Guinea discovered massive offshore oil reserves, its economy shifted entirely to drilling. People moved to the cities to find work, and farming declined. The forest was left alone to take back the land. This accidental conservation has protected the Monte Allen National Park, a rugged landscape of mist and granite. Inside this reserve lives the Goliath frog. This is not a normal frog. It can grow to the size of a house cat and weigh over 7 pounds. It is a monster of the amphibian world, building its own nursery ponds by moving heavy rocks with its massive legs. It is a creature that demands a large, undisturbed habitat, thriving in a country where the trees were saved by the drill. Number 6. Guyana. Now we head to South America, to the edge of the Amazon. Guyana is 87% forest, and it is trying to do something revolutionary. It is trying to get rich by doing absolutely nothing. Most countries make money by cutting trees down for timber or farming. Guyana is making money by keeping them alive. They have signed massive deals, including a $750 million contract with major corporations to sell carbon credits. Basically, the world pays Guyana to keep breathing for us. To prove this works, they established the Iwo International Center. It is a living laboratory, a massive chunk of rainforest gifted to the Commonwealth to test sustainable living. Here, scientists and indigenous Makushi people work together to prove that a standing forest is worth more than a timber yard, and it is worth protecting. Deep in these jungles lies Kayatur Falls, the world's largest single-drop waterfall by volume. It is a place of raw power hidden in a country that is proving a standing tree is the most valuable asset of the 21st century. Number 5. The Solomon Islands. In the Pacific Ocean, we find a paradise that is in trouble. The Solomon Islands are 90% covered in trees, but this is a statistic that comes with a warning. This nation is being logged at a speed that is terrifying. Ships from around the world are lined up to take these trees away. While the satellite maps still show green, the reality on the ground is changing fast. It is a tragedy in motion because these islands are unique. They are an evolutionary laboratory where species evolve in isolation on sky islands, mountaintops separated by deep valleys. The health of these forests is directly linked to the ocean. When the trees on the ridges are cut, the soil washes down and smothers the coral reefs below. This is the ridge-to-reef connection. Without the forest, the ocean dies too. If the chainsaws do not stop, this number 5 spot might be gone before we know it. If you are enjoying this trip around the greenest parts of our world, please hit that like button and subscribe. It helps us plant more videos for you to watch. Number 4. Palau. Stick with us in the Pacific because number 4 is like a dream. Palau is 90% forest, but it does not look like a normal country. It looks like emerald mushrooms floating on a turquoise sea. These are the rock islands. They are made of limestone and the trees cling to the rock in a way that seems impossible. Palau takes protection seriously. They have created the Palau Pledge, a stamp in every visitor's passport that you must sign, promising the children of Palau that you will tread lightly and preserve their home. The real magic happens when you step off the forest floor and into the water. Hidden within these jungle islands is Jellyfish Lake. Thousands of years ago, the ocean level dropped and trapped jellyfish inside. Over time, having no predators, they lost their sting. You can swim through millions of them, surrounded by jungle walls in one of the most alien experiences on Earth. Number 3, Gabon. Back to Africa for the land of the giants. Gabon is 91% forest, and it is known as the second lung of the Earth, right after the Amazon. Gabon decided to ban the export of raw logs, forcing companies to process wood inside the country, which slowed down deforestation. But to see the heart of this forest, you must find Langwe Bai. It is a secret clearing, a swampy, mineral-rich nervous system of the jungle. Here, forest elephants gather in the hundreds to drink the mineral water, emerging from the dense canopy into the open. It is a scene that has remained unchanged for thousands of years, and on the coast, at Luango National Park, the forest grows right up to the beach. Because of that, you see things here you will not see anywhere else. You can see hippos surfing in the Atlantic Ocean waves. You can see elephants walking on the sand. It is a place where the jungle meets the sea in a crash of waves and tusks. Number 2, the Federated States of Micronesia. We return to the Pacific for a surprise. Micronesia is 92% forest, but it is not all wild. A lot of this is what we call agroforest. It is an edible landscape. The people here have cultivated the forest to feed them. Coconuts, breadfruit, and bananas grow in a multi-layered system that looks wild, but is actually a carefully managed farm. This green armor protects the islands from typhoons and rising sea levels, proving that agriculture doesn't have to mean deforestation. And hidden in these mangroves is Nanmadol, the Venice of the Pacific. It is an ancient stone city built on top of coral reefs, now consumed by the mangroves. It is a haunting reminder that civilizations rise and fall, but the forest always waits to take over. Number 1, Suriname. And finally, the greenest nation on earth, Suriname. This small country on the shoulder of South America is 94 to 98% forest. It is almost entirely green. The population lives on a thin strip of coast, leaving the massive interior virtually untouched. Deep in the southern interior, in the Sipaliwini Savannah, you might find a jewel on the forest floor, the blue poison dart frog, electric blue and utterly fearless. It exists only here. It is a living relic, trapped in islands of forest by the surrounding grasslands. A perfect example of the unique evolution that happens when a forest is left alone. But the most incredible story here is not about the frogs, but the people. Centuries ago, enslaved Africans escaped from plantations and ran deep into this jungle. They survived, fought off the colonial armies, and built their own independent societies. They are called the Maroons. Today, they still live there, maintaining African traditions that have been lost even in Africa itself. They are the guardians of the world's densest forest, living proof that nature can be a fortress for freedom. From the ice of Finland to the heat of Suriname, these nations are the lungs of our planet. They show us that there are many ways to value a tree as timber, as carbon, as a home, or as a god. Which of these forests would you want to visit, and which one do you think will survive the next century? Let me know in the comments below. And if you want to see more of our amazing world, make sure to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.